morning. Mary here with hysong.grows, bringing you Farmer Friday. What craziness happened around here this week? Let's see. Good morning. It's Sunday. Another day of craziness. Up this morning to find a big puddle here on the back porch, and my friend had left his tool bag and it was all wet, so I emptied it and hung it out on the line to dry. I had disconnected the drain hose from the water heater so I could shut the back door all the way before I went to bed. Apparently my shutoff valve outside is not 100% because water was dribbling out of the outlet pipe from the water heater. So we have the drain hose connected back up, and I need to mop up this water. And yesterday my friend came and we got the big pipe out of the wall that was leaking. But what happened is we didn't realize that the top of that pipe went to a little PVC hot water pipe, which goes up through the ceiling, across the porch, down the wall, down over inside the wall someplace, and then it goes under the floor of that bedroom to the bathroom. So anyway, we needed one more part. Already had 3 trips to the hardware store but needed one more part to go from the galvanized to the PVC. And then I'm holding my breath that we didn't break loose any more joints or anything up in the ceiling or anything. But my friend has to go do some other stuff today, so it'll be late this afternoon before he makes it back. But I really appreciate his help, and I'm grateful for that, because I couldn't have got them pipes apart. He's a pretty strong guy, and he was having a hard time getting the pipes to come apart. So I don't think I could have even managed it at all. So that's the plumbing problem this morning. And, I was really tired and getting a little chilled and kind of disgusted with the way things have been going. And so I did not wash my milk stuff last night. Because it would have involved coming back outside again to get more water from the well hose. So that's what I'm fixing to do right now, is get some water, go heat it up, and wash my milk stuff and maybe a few dishes. I've been picking up some trash in the house. My friend that I could go wash clothes at their house hasn't answered my text. So don't know what's up with them. They might be busy, might have something else going on. So I just decided I was going to go to the laundromat this morning. So I'm all set to do that. I've got all of that ready to load up in the car. And what else? I don't know. Today might be just kind of take a breath and kind of get some stuff situated kind of a day. Welcome to my crazy life. All right, I've been putting up fly paper this morning. The sun wasn't even out all the way over the hill when I started, but we're already starting to catch some flies as the sun comes out. Yeehaw. All right, dump trash, got feed, wash the clothes, stopped at the grocery store, came home, ate a snack, put the groceries up. I didn't buy very much, just a few things. And then now I'm hanging out the wet stuff. So, yeah, I don't know what's next because like my day is half over already. But, so I'll probably get done here and just kind of look around and see what I can do to further anything around here. Alrighty, so the water heater is basically empty. I can hear a little dribble of water going into it because apparently my outside shut-off valve is not shut off 100%. I was able to scooch it a little bit so I could get that last piece of sheetrock out of there, and as you can see, there's a rat's nest in there. I'm going to get that out. I want to see if I can clean all of that up, and maybe I can get a piece of sheetrock and stuff put up in this corner before we finish the pipe thing and put the water heater back together. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I've been cleaning this corner out and stuff. I cannot get the drill in there to get those screws out, so I'm probably just going to cut them off with the Sawzall. I have to push the water heater back over there because it's not sitting correctly. It's kind of tipped back, so that's okay. We'll manage. We'll get some stuff taken care of, but I have to laugh. This is the top of the door frame, the door into the kitchen. Y'all see anything wonky here? Let's get under it. Let's get under it. No wonder things don't fit right around here. Cause like that piece of molding to the outside edge of the trim boards is, you know, pretty wide right there. And then you come over here and it's really skinny. See here on the door jamb, the door used to hang more towards the outside. It probably swung to the outside. There's an old hole there for a latch. There's another old latch there. I'm thinking if I put the level on this wall, it's probably leaning that way a little bit. At least that's the way it looks. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Alrighty. We've always had mice and rat issues in this house, and you can see where they've been in there and chewed on the walls and stuff in some different places. And so what I did was I took some very coarse steel wool and I stuffed it in any of the deeper cracks, especially any place I could shove my screwdriver all the way into, because there were a couple of holes down here that looked like mouse holes. And then we spray foamed it. So hopefully that will help keep them out of here. Alrighty, it is Monday afternoon. And after all kinds of crazy manipulations and taking things apart and putting them back together and having leaks and taking them apart and fixing them and putting them back together and having leaks, we are finally leak free. Hallelujah. So I'm going to light the water heater so I can have a shower tonight. Woo! That's Honey on the right and Cinnamon on the left. And Honey is wider all the way down than Cinnamon. She's going to be a much bigger girl. What did y'all do? Ay, ay, ay. This is why we can't have nice things. Okay. So after all the commotion and work and time and energy spent on fixing the hot water pipes in the back porch, I lit the water heater. I'm getting ready to wash the dishes and then looking forward to a hot shower. But the hot water in the kitchen is just barely dribbling. And I'm thinking, okay, go check. Did you leave the bathroom faucet on? Because I always leave a faucet open to let air out of the line when I turn the water back on after we work on pipes and stuff. No. And I'm like, I know I turned the valve on all the way because it's easy to tell when it's all the way open. I'm like, well, the hot water handle on the faucet had been acting kind of funky lately. And I don't know, it's like we get credit in our lines and stuff. If the water company has a main break, then I get all the mud and dirt and everything, right? And I thought, oh, I wonder if the screen is plugged up in the faucet. I did the screen, and that's the crud that was built up on top of the screen. And that little black U-shape there is probably the washer that is inside the faucet handle. I'm probably going to have to replace it. Just because this crud like gets in there and wrecks it. And then all that crud was built up on top of the screen, which is still kind of cruddy looking. So I'm gonna soak this little screen in vinegar, but fortunately I can still wash the dishes without it. It's just there to catch that crud, right? I think I'll run the faucet a few minutes before I run the dishwater though. Alrighty, this is Tuesday morning, and this is the state of the back porch at the moment. We are good out here for the plumbing. Hallelujah. There is a tiny little drip from the drain faucet here on the water heater. I think I might have just a little cap or something I can stick on there. Probably because it hasn't been used in all these years. But so we got some cleanup in here to do. And I'm working on getting the last of the shims trimmed down around the back door. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do next on there. We got a big gap to caulk and fill in. And then I need to trim up a little bit of the Expando foam. And I think once I do that, I can work on this whole side of the room and get the sheetrock put in. You know, when your house is a crappy old 100-year-old manor shack and you have to do some work on it, you find things you did not want to find. I moved the refrigerator and got in here to trim out some of the spray foam. Apparently the last contractors also used a generous amount of spray foam under this wall here. And then look what I found. That can't see if I can get the light all the way in there, but yeah, that hole goes way under. I imagine it goes right under that little bit of concrete there, all the way out to the outside wall, which is where there was a big old squirrel tunnel this past year. So I'm thinking that ground squirrels just tunneled right on in there because it's open over there and it's open. You can't see it here. Dang it. I can see in that hole. It's just not showing up on camera. But yeah. So, my solution is we're going to stuff a whole bunch of steel wool down that hole and fill it up full of spray foam. Because that ought to at least work for a while, right? And I'm getting old enough to where I'm just kind of like, y'all just got to last till I'm dead, okay? Just keep going till I'm gone. Okay, this is my third piece of steel wool to stuff down this hole. I just bought the coarsest stuff. I figured that would last longer and be better. And, yeah. Looks like we could probably take a couple more pieces. I might have to go buy some more. This is just wood waste insulation that I had left over from insulating some of the well equipment last year. And I'm just using it to stuff the cracks so it doesn't take up so much silicone, caulking. So, yeah, we have quite a gap in some places because you can't use the spray foam around the door frame because it might expand too much and push the frame out of shape. Alrighty. So I got some stuff stuffed in that crack all the way around the door. I thought I had more caulking, but I guess not. If I do, I don't have a clue where it is. But I don't see any more daylight there, so that's, and that, there was quite a draft coming from this big crack last night, and it's very much reduced, so that's good. Can't work on sheetrock until the spray foam dries and I can get it trimmed, and then I can work on spray foam. So I think I'm just going to kind of sweep and scrape and tidy up in here a little bit and think about my next steps. I did find a hose cap that I put on the drain valve here, and there's no leakage now. I'll just keep an eye on it. That hose cap might need a washer if there is any dripping, but I think it'll be all right. Okie dokie. Thank you so much to my friend Carl, who made I don't know how many trips to the store and got this mess all situated, and there's no drippies. Yay! Well, all that rain did really green up our hillsides. However, it has thrown a lot of things out of whack. Because, let's see if I can hold the phone and point at the same time. Up there in that clump of mesquite, there's some yucca. Can you see the yucca stalk? Yucca shouldn't be blooming in November. That's crazy pants. Okay, fixing this faucet for I don't know how many times I have had to do this now, 2 or 3 over the last few years, because I'm the last house on the line, and they are supposed to come and they are supposed to come and flush the line out after a main break, but they never do. I know they don't do it because one of the valves for that's in my driveway, and it's covered with quite a lot of dirt these days. So I know they haven't used it in years. So what happens is when they get dirt in the lines, all the dirt and rocks come up here and it eats the washers down in the bottom of my faucet. And so if you have to do this, there's a little screw here. I take that one out and then we undo this part, and there's a little washer right here. And if you can see, it's really kind of thin and messed up. So we're going to put a new one in and put this back together and turn the water back on, check for leaks. First piece of sheetrock's in, and it's okay. We're a little wonky on the corner, but now my issue is that measuring from either one of these two corners, 48 inches lands just shy of a stud instead of hitting the middle. So I thought, well, I could cut the sheetrock, you know, to whatever this is to the center of this stud, and then whatever that is to the center of the other one. I don't want to do that much work. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to put a nailer in here just to make our 48 inches. And but that's probably tomorrow, because now it's time to go milk goats. Oh, and I had several phone calls come in while I was working on the faucets. So that's why you didn't see the rest of that job, but I got it done, turned the water on, no leaks, hallelujah. We are good there. And now we're starting on the sheetrock, so I'm like, yay! So we gotta get all the sheetrock put up, finish caulking around the door, tape and mud the sheetrock, sand it, mud it again, sand it again, prime it, and then we can paint it. So did I miss any steps? Y'all remind me if I've missed a step in there someplace. Okay, so I come out here on the back porch because I've decided I can cut the sheetrock pieces so for the rest of this side of the room, so it'll be all ready to put together in the morning. I just have to go out in the morning and cut a piece of 2x4 and put it in as a nailer. And this is what I find. Can you see all the little ants? I don't know if they're carrying eggs, if they're carrying little bits of styrofoam, or what they're doing. But I do think I have some ant spray or something in there. So you can see they're going right down that little crack in the concrete, which I do have some stuff that's supposed to glue together and adhere to concrete, which I am going to use to fill up some of the cracks that I have found in the floor. We will be doing that tomorrow, so I guess I'll go find some ant spray. Alrighty. These pieces of sheetrock are just sitting here, except for that last one. That one's screwed in, but these pieces are just sitting here. I got to cut a nailer to fit right there, because part of that one doesn't hit the 2x4 behind it. And then I might have to do a little trimming in some corners and stuff, because my house, no part of my house is level, square, plumb, as you can see by that crack. Like up here, it's nothing. And as you go down the board, I can put more and more fingers in there. Oh, so like down here is like almost 2 fingers I can stick in there. So, yeah. So, tomorrow's another day. I gotta go wash the dishes and go to bed. In here as much as I can. I sprayed for the flies. I don't know that it killed any of them. There's still a million of them. The pack is still really wet down in the bottom. And I know there's some more wet spots over that way. But I just can't lug any more heavy buckets today. So, I have got some safety sorb. They sell this and also another product called Floor Dry. The Floor Dry is just labeled that it's a diatomaceous earth product. The Safety Sorb is labeled that it has montmorillonite clay and earth minerals. So, this is going to be very similar to something like Stall Dry. So this is going to be real similar to like Stall Dry or PDC, those sorts of products. But I think it's a little bit less expensive. I'd have to double check my math, but anyway. What I like about this is that it's more granulated and it is not that super fine dust that the food grade diatomaceous earth is. I really don't like that because it just gets in the air and then everybody's breathing it, and that's really bad. See, what are you doing? Are you eating it? Is it tasty? Huh? What are y'all doing? You're goofy. It does look a little bit like kitty litter, so hopefully it will help dry this pen up and help us deal with our ammonia issue. These squirrels are so funny. They are eating it. I guess it is very similar to the silicone product that they have in their mineral buffet. Silica does help neutralize the toxins in molds and things. So ever since the flood, we have been going through pounds and pounds and pounds of silicone in our mineral buffet. Just because this pack is so wet down underneath and it is moldy in spots, and I'm just mucking as fast as I can. Yeah. Hi, lovies. Zoe's such a pretty chunky girl. Look at how wide she is. She is not pregnant. She is a dry yearling, and she is just really wide and really deep. Yes. Yes. So we'll see what her babies look like in the spring, because we are going to breed her. Yes. So you can be a mommy. What's you doing, Cinnamons? Oh, what you doing, Cinnamons? Yes, you're a good girl. Yeah, she's a pretty good girl. Yeah, she's a pretty girl. Yeah. We just have a bad jaw. So that means we will not stay in the herd for long. Yeah, which makes me sad because she is pretty and she's very sweet, but she's going to have issues and more of them as she gets older. So, yeah. What's you doing, honey bunnies? What's you doing, honey bunnies? I see you, honey. What's you doing? Oh, what's you doing? Oh, she's a pretty girl, too. Yes, she is. She's a pretty girl, too. Yes. Yes. She still has a little bit of her milk goiter. It's mostly gone. It was huge when she was little, but it's going away. And we can't forget the old lady over here. Huh, Bambi? Yeah. She's just an old lady. She's gonna be 10 in the spring. Yup, she's gonna be 10 years old in the springtime. Yeah. Oh, is that the spot? Oh, is that the spot, Mamas? Yeah. You're so funny. Yes, you are. I had to go out there and muck pins because I was so mad at myself. I just couldn't stay in here and work on this porch for a bit because I was so mad at myself. Because I didn't check the door frame before I started caulking out there. Now this side is good. This side of the door is really nice and plumb. Okay, and there's a thing in the way, and it's good that way. But if we come over here to the hinge side, sorry for the lousy video. Yeah. We come to the hinge side. It is almost a 1/4 inch out up on top. I'm so mad. So, let me see this way. This way it's okay though. It could. Let me see. Yeah. This way is not bad. So, now what to do? First I gotta move the refrigerator because it's in the way of the door opening all the way. And I gotta have the door open better so I can get in to the hinges. Okay. Good morning. It's Thursday, and I have about an hour and a half to do some stuff before I have to get ready to leave for work. So we're going to work in here on this back porch on this sheetrock stuff. So I am waiting for my friend to come. He might have a tool we can trim up those shims a little bit more. I worked yesterday quite a bit. I did get the door a little closer to 100% plumb. It's not quite, but it's probably as good as it's going to get. And we can get it to latch, so that's a good thing. This morning, I'm going to trim out this area. I have an idea for putting the sheetrock up, but I am absolutely not messing with those pipes. I've had enough plumbing and enough pipe work. I'm not touching them. I am especially not touching that gas line. Forget it. We're just not going to go there. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim the old sheetrock back that the right-hand line should be the middle of a 2x4 or close to it. The left-hand line seems to be mostly the edge of the 2x4. And then we'll trim out here around the window so we can get to this one. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to just do this in small pieces. Cut my sheetrock like about the bottom of the pipe or close to it. And then I'm just going to notch it out. And this way I can still screw it on each side. And it'll be okay. There's not going to be any pressure or anything going on over here. It's not like it's part of a big space in a room where somebody might trip and fall and land against it. It's not going to be any place that anybody's going to bang on it or anything like that. So I think we're going to be just fine. I cannot add in 2x4s across to screw to because the gas line is right up against the 2x4 back there. So there's just no space. And if I can't screw it down here, like I don't know that I'm going to have enough room here, because I'm not moving the water heater again. Forget it. We're just not going there. I'm just going to use some construction adhesive and it'll be fine. Oh, that's fun. Rat poop. Okay, a little bit of progress this morning, but then we found the rat poop. So I'm gonna get the vacuum and see what we can do up there. See if I can keep from getting it in my face. Yuck. There was a big old ruckus in the dough pen while I was milking, and Esmeralda's in heat and beating everybody up. And I heard the little girls jumping and around, and Honey's limping, and that's why. I don't know what she did. I don't think we have a broken bone. I think we just have a cut. Good morning. It's Friday. And this is the current state of the back porch. Right, I have a piece of sheetrock cut that I need to trim just a smidge and get put up behind the water heater there. I need to finish cutting and fitting pieces for around here and to cover the pipe. So far no leaks. Woohoo! I flat refuse to touch those pipes, disconnect them, to do a whole full sheet of sheetrock in this space. So you can see I have cut small pieces and I'm just notching out for the pipes because I especially don't want to mess with this gas line. I'm not touching it. No way. And once I get that part done, then I'll cut a piece to fit down here, and I need a piece to fit there. I'm pretty sure I have enough. I hope I don't have to go buy anymore. Today's agenda is to finish caulking around the door on the outside, and then look, woohoo! We got sheetrock up in this corner. Let's get some more light. I'm excited to at least get this one side of the porch done so that I can put the refrigerator where it belongs, so I can get the cabinet out of the middle of the kitchen. I got sheetrock up in this corner and the mud, and I put a skim coat of mud on it. It's not quite dry in a couple spots there, so I'm running the little heater to help warm it up and dry it out. Because our temps are dropping and things are taking way too long to dry. But this is one side of the back porch, and so we're just waiting for this mud to finish drying up so I can put another coat on it, and then we'll see where we're at, if we're ready for primer. I do need to seal around at the base of the wall, which I will do probably when I'm done with the mud, just because then I can clean everything up really good and run a bead of caulk down there. So there's this cabinet, and it should be living on the back porch, but it's not there yet. Here's the current state of the living room. We're a giant pile in a construction zone. Okay, second coat of mud is on there. And now we're going to work on the other side of the room. So this wall is just like a little jigsaw puzzle because, of course, with a big piece of sheetrock, I wanted to cut the biggest pieces out first and then use the smaller leftover pieces to piece in the other parts. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah. But I got 2 more pieces to cut and fit. And then I can get these last bits screwed to the wall and do some more mud. So I'm debating. I got feed in the car. It's got to get unloaded before I can go do anything. But I'm thinking I should probably just leave this stuff sit like it is, go get some sheetrock, finish cutting all my pieces. Because I have farmer's market tomorrow and I'm not sure if the lumber yard's open tomorrow or not, but I don't think they're open on Sunday at all. So I'm thinking I will need to go get some more sheetrock. And then I can come back and actually put these all into place and finish cutting. And then I can start with the mud and get all of this side, at least my skim coats. Maybe that can happen today. Well, we'll see how long it takes me to go to the hardware store. Okay, it's taken me half the day, literally, it's after 12, to cut and fit all of these little pieces of sheetrock up here. But all of that part's done. I still need a piece there. And I'm going to need a long skinny piece here. And then I need a piece for above the door. But I'm out of sheetrock. Okay, maybe I don't have to go to the hardware store after all. I remembered I had a piece of wallboard that I put on the plant shelves because it evens out the wire mesh and it's easier to keep the trace level. So I'm going to dig that puppy out. Alrighty. It's actually 2 pieces, so I pulled this smaller piece out. It's filthy and the corners are kind of chingered up, but I think I can make that work in one spot. I got that piece up, and I just need to use up all the itty bitty little scraps and fill up the gap. Y'all, it's like 4 o'clock and we're not quite done, but we're getting there. So I do need to cut a little patch for right here. I need to cut this out and just put a little patch right there. That's fine. We got this big piece up. I did use construction glue behind these boards because some of them are not hitting a 2x4, some of them are like impossible to screw into. Like I was able to get a couple screws in this end of that board and a couple over in that one, but like I can't put anything in the middle because the water heater's in the way. It's fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be just fine. And all my little jigsaw pieces are all up. And then there's a few spots in this mud over here that are a little damp. In let's see, I got farmer's market tomorrow. So probably on Sunday, I gotta move all the stuff off that shelf. I'm gonna pull that shelf down, fill all the holes, and work on the mud and stuff over on this side, and try to just get done with wallboard so I can paint. I was really hoping that I'd have gone a lot further today, but yeah, that took a lot longer than I anticipated. My knees are killing me because I have been squatting or kneeling all day. And so, you know, that's just the way it is. What else? Well, y'all know what time it is now, though, right? Yeah, it's chore time. So I'm gonna go do chores and get ready to milk. And I think that's where I'm gonna finish this video off today. Bless everybody, all of y'all. Thank you so much for subscribing, for liking, for sharing. I so appreciate everybody that comes along, makes a comment, asks a question. I love it. So maybe next week we be done with the porch. Cross your fingers. Y'all have a nice weekend and a good next week, and I'll see y'all next time.